Okay, number 4 is seeking knowledge. Seeking knowledge, increasing one's knowledge. The more that we increase our knowledge about Allah, the more it will strengthen our aqidah. Our aqidah actually in Arabic means a knot, something you tie very tightly. Once you tie it up, it won't slip away. So aqidah, aqad in Arabic, it means like when you tie something strong in your heart. So when we learn the deen of Allah, it's that knowledge, that gnosis, or that ma'rifah of Allah. It's that tawheed. It's like the roots in a tree. You ever see the palm tree or any tree? Actually, the tree, the part that you see is smaller than the part that's underground many times. The roots that go penetrate deep into the ground, the tree will not fall over. It's not because how tall the tree is that makes it so strong. It's how deep the roots are penetrated. Those roots are so deep in the ground. That's why when the wind comes, even a car will hit a tree and the car will destroy it. The tree will still stand firm. And that's the parable of a believer. The believer is so firm in his faith in Allah and his attachment, his tawheed, his realization that in Allah's power to help, to control, and to protect, and to guide. So his roots are so deep that when the winds come, the storms come, he doesn't fall over. He stays strong. But he can only do that, or she can only do that, if they have deep roots, which comes through the knowledge, the gnosis, and the khashya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this knowledge was something the Prophet ﷺ was so eager to teach the Sahaba, especially the young companions. Once he was riding on his animal, and he had young little Ibn Abbas riding behind it, little boy at the time. And he said, "Oh ghulam, oh young man, I want to teach you some things." And then he said, in part of the hadith, he said, know that if all of the world gathered together to benefit you by something, they could not benefit you except what Allah has written for you. And if all of the world were to gather together to harm you, they cannot harm you except by something Allah has written against you. The pens are lifted, the pages are dried. So this lesson, in this lesson in the power of Allah, really, it's a lesson in tawakkul, in trust in Allah, that Allah is the one, the doer of everything. Everything that comes to you or doesn't come to you is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So attach your heart to Him and don't attach it to anybody else or anything else. That was a very important lesson he taught that young Sahabi, Ibn Abbas. And the meaning of this is found in one of the greatest statements of Tawheed that we can learn, which is La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There's no change of affairs, hawl, wa la quwwa, and there's no strength except through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. And this is in fact actually one of the statements we can say at a time of distress. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. When we're worried, and it has a very powerful effect. The Prophet ﷺ taught this to some of the Sahaba when actually some parents, their son was taken captive by the mushrikeen. The Prophet ﷺ, he taught those parents to say, he said, go home. They were poor, they were struggling, and then their son was taken captive. And he said, say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Keep repeating this. There's no change of affairs, and there's no power except from Allah. And so they went home and they were reciting this. They're poor, they're struggling. And the Sahabi, I believe his name was Safina, he was trying to release the ropes, and he slipped out of the ropes. And he went to the door of the prison where the kuffar had kept him, found the door open. He looked outside, and there was a whole herd of camels. And so he called the camels, and they came, and he jumped on the camel, and he brought the herd of camels, and he came to the home of his parents. And his mother looks out the door. She's saying, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There's no change of affairs, and there's no strength except with Allah. This is my son. He's free. He brought with him a whole herd of camels. And she's so surprised, the power of Allah. Where here we are starving, and Allah brought a whole herd of camels to us that are so valuable. One camel is extremely valuable. So subhanAllah, it's Allah who controls the affairs. In His hands is the zaman al-umur, the reins. The reins of an animal. If you hold the reins, you can control it where you want, right? When you hold a horse, you pull the rein. Allah, He controls the reins of the creation and of the universe. So anybody out there who may have some worldly power over you, Allah controls them. And He controls everything. So we have to always have that faith. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. When we learn this aqidah, this belief, it will give us thabat. When we realize that it's only Allah and through Allah that anything can happen, this will strengthen our faith, inshallah ta'ala.